Okay, let's take a look at your assignment for today. So, you have an escape room today. It is a review for your test Tuesday. Your test is Tuesday. All right, so when you click here, it will open up your assignment that will look like this. I know, what a lovely font, what a lovely color. It looks great. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. What are we learning? We'll be able to calculate speed using distance and time. You'll know how to do that, so this is a review. All right, here is a very important slide. Do not skip this slide. It says you are now trapped in a science lab with a zombie scientist. In order to break out, you must solve the problems on the rest of the slides. Let me zoom in to make sure that y'all are really seeing what I'm reading. All right, you will need to open this Google form. You need to click here. When you click here, it will open a Google form. Oops, I am so sorry, y'all. I already started the Google form. Okay, it'll open the Google form and look like this. All right. To enter your answers in the red box on each page to see if you are correct. Okay, then you can move on to the next level. So you are doing the assignment on the slides. You enter your answer for each slide in the Google form. So when I click next, all right, it says match the graph and data table on slide 4 to the correct scenario. So we need slide 4 first to do anything on the Google form. So you're using both. I wouldn't split screen though, because you're mostly working on the Google form, but you can do whatever you want. Oops, all right, when you get to the slide, it will look like this, slide 4. So the first slide is a card sort, the rest are calculating speed. So this first one is like a monster. You got to get through this first one, and then the rest are going to be easier. So first thing you need to do is match the data tables to the graphs. So what I would suggest you do first is you put all the data tables on the correct side. So like if I zoom in, some of these data tables say distance time, and some say speed time. So I would go ahead and drag all my time and distance over here and all my speed and time over here, which I did ahead of time. So I have those dragged to their correct sides. And then how my brain works is I'm just going to grab all the distance time graphs and I'm going to put them somewhere over here so that I can match them to the correct data table. So dragging all of those so that I can match them. All right, now let's zoom in. Okay, can we zoom in more? That was weak. All right, so these are distance time tables, distance time graphs. I'm going to match each graph to the correct table. Let's do a few together. This table says 0, 0. All right, they all start off at 0, 0. Then it says 1, 1. It's literally just plotting points. So this graph is at 1, 1. This graph is at 1, 1. This graph is not at 1, 1. So I know that table 1 does not go with C. This graph is at 1, 1. So it could be any of these three. All right, moving on. 2, 2. Oh my goodness. This graph is at 2, 2. This graph is at 2, 2. This graph is at 2, 2. All right, 3, 2.5. 3, 2. Oop, so it's not this one. So I'm going to get this one out of the way. 3, 2.5. 3, 3. So that tells me that data table 1 must match graph E. I'm going to do the same thing for the rest of them. So let's do another one together. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Okay, so I can see that this graph is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. So that automatically tells me that G goes with number 2. All right, so I'm going to leave these two for y'all to do on your own. And I'm going to move over here. And I'm going to drag all these lovely graphs up near my data table so that I can see them. And this is just how my brain works. I need them where I can see them. You don't have to do it like this, but I need them where I can see them. All right, so these are speed time graphs. This one says that at a time of 0, the speed is at 3. So on this graph at a time, let's zoom in a little more. I really want to make sure y'all understand. Okay, so on graph B, at a time of 0, the speed is at 0. So that's not right. So it's not B. Get out of here, B. This graph, at a time of 0, the speed is at 0. So it's not F. Get out of here, F. This graph, at a time of 0, the speed is at 3. And the speed stays at 3. So there we go. Let's do one more. At a time of 0, the speed is at 0. At a time of 1, the speed is at 1. This graph shows at a time of 1, the speed is at 0, so that is not correct. So it's one of these two. We're looking for the graph that shows that at a time of 1, the speed is at 1. Time of 1, speed at 1. All right, so F is my graph. So I'm going to leave these two for y'all to sort. All right, so once I have sorted all the graphs with the data tables, I might zoom out a little bit. Yeah, a little bit after that so that I can see the whole picture. Then you're going to go to the Google Forms. Now, we're going to get tricky on you again. You are going to have to match a scenario, it's this part that's written in bold, to a graph and a data table, really just to the graph. You can do that. Hint, listen, hint, big hint. The first 4 are speed time graphs. Wait, hold on. Am I wrong? No, the first 4 are distance time graphs. Okay, the first 4 are distance time graphs. The last 4 are speed time graphs. So when you're doing the first 4, you are only looking at this side, at the speed side. Let's do one together. The first one says Craig walked to a friend's house at a constant speed. So we need a graph that starts at a constant speed and it's walking away. Then, he realized when he got there that he dropped his phone on the trip. So he walked back at a constant speed. So he walked away at a constant speed, he walked back at a constant speed. After he found his phone, he quickly walked at a constant speed back to his friend's house. So this one's kind of tricky. Good thing I'm doing the tricky one with you. We're looking for a graph that shows walking away, walking back, walking away. You have notes on this. You could use that. Remember, I'm only looking at the graphs on this side. And I didn't sort these two. Remember, I said y'all are sorting these two. So I'm sorry. You're going to have to sort those two. But out of these 4 graphs, which one shows away, back, and away again? It's pretty easy to eliminate this one. That definitely doesn't show that. This one shows walking away, changing speed, but it's going away the whole time. This one, moving away. But this one shows away, back, away. So this is graph C. Graph C, man, I'm going to have to give y'all another answer. Graph C goes with data table. Let's see. We need to know what data table it goes with. So one of these two. Graph C goes with data table 0, 0, 1, 1.5, 1, 1.5. Okay, so graph C goes with data table 4. So if I go over here, it says type the letter of the graph and the number of the data table that go with this scenario. So letter is C, number is 4. Type it exactly like that. Letter, number, no spaces. If you type it wrong, it's not going to count. If you don't put a capital, it's not going to count. Has to be a capital letter. Okay, so that's going to take you a minute. That's why this is your only assignment for today. You have to finish that. It's going to take you a minute to finish that. That's the longest part of the assignment. Then you are solving for speed. Oops. The speed problems will look like this. The first one is going to walk you through the steps. The other ones are going to kind of let you do it a little more on your own. So it says below, you'll follow the steps for calculating speed of an object. Use the data table provided to calculate speed. Your question is, what is the speed of the boat at the time it traveled 77 meters? The answer that you're putting in the Google Forms is the answer from the red box. So we're not messing with the Google Forms until we get to the red box. Step 1, write the formula. Speed equals distance divided by time. Step 2, write the unknowns, or write the unknowns, distance and time. Okay. So at 77 meters, that's our distance. Our time is 25 seconds. Step 3, fill in the formula with the given information. So distance, 77, time, 25. I'm just plugging in the formula the same as the triangle. So now I'm going to calculate my work, and I'm going to calculate my answer. And, oops. When I do 77 divided by 25, I get 3.08. This is the answer that you will put in the Google Forms. Slide number 5. This is slide number 5. Slide numbers are up here. Okay. Type the speed only, leave off the units. So you are typing the speed only. You're not putting the units. Okay. You can do it. On the next one, you're going to be calculating speed, just like that one, but without all the steps. You can do it. It's a lot of calculating speed. You got it. All right.